Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back. Today I will continue painting my Flesh Eater Court models. These are my notes, since I am doing it timed. Yeah, this is just how long I've spent so far on each of the steps. I will be doing another challenge next week. So I'll be painting Thursday and Friday next week from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time. And then Saturday and Sunday at the normal time, noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. So I'll be speed painting the Seraphon Spearhead box, much like I'm speed painting the Fleshier Quartz one right now. So if you're interested, tag along. Next week, the 18th, this upcoming week. Also, if you're interested, I will be posting an announcement on my Instagram, which you can find below in my bio. Yeah, check that out if you want some more information or forget exactly what time I'm going to be doing things. The information will be posted there in a written form, so you can reference that. Cool. So yesterday I finished getting I'll move this out of the way so it can focus. And I'll take my watch off because it's getting in the way. I finished getting the Crypt Guard to tabletop ready. So now on today's stream, I'll be working towards getting the rest of the models in the Spearhead box to tabletop ready. After I finished yesterday, I did a little bit of experimenting, and so I did some work with this burgundy color over the black, and I think it looks really good. So I'll be using that today as well, especially for these wings and on the Arch Regent. He has this like membrane type thing. Crypt Guard, what a glamorous job. Yeah, except they're not really guarding crypts. They're like they're bodyguards for like this guy, the Arch Regent. Crypt is just in the name because they're ghouls. And, you know, that kind of thing. Does that dude live in a crypt? You know, I'm not exactly sure where he lives. Just for reference, I'm starting my stopwatch again. Cool. Yeah, I'll go more into the lore for this army later, but they are essentially they're all delusional, so they think that they are like nobles and knights of like a grand kingdom. So I believe they currently live in like old ruined castles and like essentially like the ruins of old civilizations. But in their minds, it's a grand castle with knights and servants, and they have festivals and feasts and that kind of thing. It's pretty interesting. And I'm actually going to pull up my notes here so that I know where I'm at. To each their own, I guess. Yeah, and it's kind of what drives them to do what they do. Yeah, it's called the Grand Delusion, and it's a shared delusion between every single ghoul in the faction. What do they do? I mean, they live as any lord and lady and, you know, peasant would. And they just kind of go about their day doing their thing. And then, you know, whenever they go to war or get invaded, they march out and, you know, slay their enemies. But actually they're just, you know, cannibalizing other people. But they're generally led by the god of death. So he kind of twists the grand delusion to get them to do what he wants. They're like puppets that he controls. So right now I'm just doing a dry brush of Mournfang Brown over all of the steeds. I use the word steed because it sounds lit as fuck. The God of Death is a model that you can paint. And the Lord of Delusion is a model that you can paint. Both are quite excellent models. I don't have either of them, but mostly that's because these are the first death models that I have. So I don't really collect models from the Death faction. Are they on the list of models to get? Yeah, I think I'll get them at some point. Like I said, they are quite cool models, so... However, I do think I'm gonna get... I'm gonna finish collecting the armies that I'm currently collecting first. That's my top priority. So, just as a reference, you can see the difference between these two models. And you can see like how much a dry brush like really helps. And pulling up my timer, that was around 4 minutes of work. And you can kind of see how much it does in terms of like bringing out detail, and it gives a more matte finish to the model, which is helpful. I mean, you can get the matte finish in other ways, but it's kind of like a two birds with one stone kind of thing, where you're getting a nice matte finish and it's highlighting all the details and kind of changing the color a little bit to be a bit warmer, because these are living creatures, unlike the rest of the army, which are all undead. So it's a nice contrast to have these models look a bit more alive, considering they're the only living models in the army. I think. You know, I say that, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure. And one of the reasons I'm doing this step now is because of, I don't want to say messy, but how messy dry brushing is. You can see that I'm kind of just doing circles over the entire model. And so if I were to do some of the other details first, I would likely get this brown over them and have to, touch them up and fix them. So that's why this is one of the first steps, just to make sure I'm not wasting any time repainting anything. I might do another dry brush later, but it'll be more concentrated. It'll be less, because this is a dry brush that is over the entire model. If I do another one, it'll be on certain parts. It'll be more concentrated, so less likely for me to get it on unwanted parts of the model. Cool. Let's see, next. All right. Switch palettes real quick. Put some more water in this one. I think I'm going to start with bone. So next I'm just trying to block in all the rest of the colors on these models to get them to tabletop ready. So, the list of colors that I have to do on these models is like the flayed skin, metal, bone, wood. I think that's it. So have to pick one. I don't think there's any one in particular that I should do first. So I'm just gonna start with the bone color. Yeah. Yeah, another reason why I did the bases first is so that I can, by the time I get to the, painting the skulls and bones on the bases, I don't have to worry about going around them later. If I painted the bones first, I would have to very carefully paint around them, while painting the base. And so doing the base first and really early on in the process makes this step easier. I'm now realizing that I chose wrong. Should not have started with the bone, but that's okay. We'll take a break from bone here real quick. I have to do like some pink for like the ears and more specifically the mouth. Painting inside the mouth. I have to do that before I do the teeth because there's no way I'm gonna paint the inside of the mouth without getting pink all over the teeth. So we're gonna take a break from bone for a little bit, paint on some pink. And actually I'm gonna switch to my more detailed brush here to make sure I don't get any pink on the skin itself. Just kind of the membranes, the ears. The nose. Nice thing about working with contrast paint is long drying time. You can kind of come in, wipe away some mistakes when they happen, and it's all good. I maybe should have done this before I put it on the base, but that's okay. Alright. Additionally, we're going to kind of pick out any scars that they may have and just put some pink around there. Oh, that's some fur that I didn't paint. Sometimes it's hard to tell what things are on the model. Alright, cool. I think, course, I missed like the biggest scar. Alright. I think that's it for now. Especially for this model. Move on to the Archregent. Same kind of thing. Ooh. Just now realizing while I did do the mouth, I like didn't do the mouth. And mostly that's because when I'm doing mouths, sometimes it's kind of hard to get in there and stuff without like shoving your paintbrush in there. And so I like to use an older paintbrush to do the mouth, or the inside of the mouth, so that I don't really have to worry about like destroying the paintbrush as I jam it in there to get all the get everything. Alright. Cool. Similar thing here, because I'm just kind of jamming a paintbrush in there using an older paintbrush. And then we pick out the finer one when we want to trace around the mouth. Get the ears. And so I just noticed that actually, so this shoulder guard that he has, it's being held on by this like strap. And I just realized that this is like a metal spike that's through the entire body and it comes out his back. That's pretty gnarly. Although I guess when you're undead, you can kind of just, I guess, secure your shoulder pad with a metal spike through the body. Like, sure, why not? Probably not gonna feel it. Does this guy have any scars? Nah, he's the Archregent. He doesn't get hurt. That's what the Crypt Guard are for. They get hurt instead of him. Let's see how well the pink shows up over the brown. Yeah, a little bit. Might have to come in and highlight that back up a little bit. But it should do for now. Okay, and then I need some more pink. And again, I'm using a older brush while I kind of jam it in the mouth. And get all this. Make sure there's no white in the mouth anymore. It doesn't super matter if you get it around the edge. The gums are likely pink as well, so it's all good. Just really want to make sure there's no white in the mouth, because that looks a bit odd, and for good reason. There's no light source in the mouth. Should be quite dark in there. This guy's nice. He's ready for the dentist. He's got his mouth wide open, showing off all his teeth. Cool. After that slight detour, we can go back to painting the bone color. Again, while painting the bone color, I can see that I missed some fur. I think I missed some fur on this guy as well. In the middle of this tangled mess. My brush didn't quite get everything. This also gives me a chance to get a second coat on these bones, which they need because bone color does not cover very well. will likely need to do a second coat on all of the bone. That's okay. It's to be expected. But you want to make sure that the first coat dries first before you do a second coat. So you just want to make sure that you're moving between models so that the first coat has time to dry. So the contrast parts are actually the fastest steps. Now that we're getting into base coating with base paints and stuff, things are starting to slow down, but that's okay, because one of the main benefits of doing all the work with the contrast paints is so that you have extra time to do these steps later. So, no need to feel rushed. Take your time. It's especially important that you take your time because you don't want to make any mistakes and have to redo the contrast bits, because that's not fun to do. Now realizing I forgot to do this guy's teeth. His toofs. While I'm here, might as well give a second coat to the other bone on the model. Luckily, we're starting mostly we're starting from a light base color, so it's not gonna. Only 2 layers should be enough. For the bone. The mouths on these guys are not quite dry, so I'm gonna hold off on doing their teeth. I'm looking for any bone that might be stuck on the model's skin, like this guy. You can see he's got bones poking through him. I guess this guy just has all the bones because he's the champion's mount. Sorry, not just mount. The champion's majestic steed. Can't be disrespecting the Morbeg Knights. Oh, this guy's got a snack hanging off him. Look at that. Mmm. It's like a nice juicy thigh. I see, this guy's hogging all the bones. Should give some to his mount. Like, this dude's got a whole skeleton. Hey G-Wiz, how's it going? Yeah, so this guy's got a whole skeleton, but his mount only has like a thigh on this as a snack for later. Gotta share the love, bro. Hoarding all the bones. 3D printing some orcs? I'm guessing for 40K? Nope, fantasy orcs? For Old World or Age of Sigmar? Mostly just to paint. I use them in D&D. Nice. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, orcs are fun to paint. The green skin is very different from you know, painting normal skin. Actually quite enjoying painting green skin, as you can see from my ghouls. You do kill teams sometimes, not actual 40K. Yeah, I like the skirmish games. I think it's a lot better than 40K. Because there's fewer models, you can spend a lot more time painting each of the models or making them unique. And then it also goes faster. 40K. It's financially easier too. Yeah, that's another big point. That's why I also like, so they did Combat Patrol, and then this is Spearhead, which is the Age of Sigmar version of Combat Patrol. Also, another nice game mode, closer to the full games, with more models, but still financially easier than building a whole army. Less time commitment because you have to paint and build less models, and it's faster. You can get more games in, or if you don't have a lot of time, you can play a game, as opposed to if you don't have 3 to 4 hours to play a full game of 40K. So after building this model and getting, I'd say, more than halfway through painting it, I realized that there's like a boar's head that's supposed to go on his shield right here. I was like, that's weird. There's like a weird square in the middle of his shield. Yeah, that's you're supposed to put something there. Oops. We'll see if it makes it on the shield. I might just leave it off. At this point, like. I guess I skipped that part in the instructions. Going back around for a second layer. Make sure all the bone is solid. So yeah, gee whiz, have you been paying attention to the Age of Sigmar 4 release that just happened? I believe yesterday. Actually, it was the official release. But they've been talking about it and hyping it up for a while. Oh, yeah, you should look into it. Yeah, one of the main, I guess, selling points of the new edition is the new Spearhead game mode, which goes along with the Spearhead box sets. It's like the 40K Combat Patrol game system. I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet because I haven't been able to get the rules yet. But I'm pretty excited for it. As you can see right now, I'm actually speed painting a spearhead box. And I'll be speed painting another spearhead box on stream next week. But yeah, supposedly it's a really fun game mode. So if you were ever interested in getting into Age of Sigmar, it's a good way to do it. Yeah, you were thinking about getting into Warcry? Yeah, I have a couple Warcry warbands. I haven't been able to play Warcry yet, but it's mostly because I haven't found anyone to play with. So. Yeah, the Warcry box sets are really cool. They come with a lot of like cool terrain, which is nice. I always love getting interesting terrain. Yeah, one thing I really like about Age of Sigmar is the models. I think its models are cooler than their 40k counterparts. Like this model, for example, is like a ghoul leader, and so he has this shoulder pad. And the shoulder pad is held in place by this metal stake that is just stabbed through the torso. Because how else are you going to hold a shoulder pad in place? Other than just stabbing through your torso. One thing's for sure, it's not coming off. Hello, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for lurking. I appreciate it. Well, I found a part of the skin that I didn't paint. Oh. Alright. I'm gonna have to wait until the metallic paint I just put on dries. Well. Alright. So I got this burgundy paint, and I really like this color. It is quite good. So I'm gonna have to find other stuff that I can use it on. Much like all the other contrast paints, it's very pigmented. So you get a nice, solid color, which is great. And like other contrast paints, it has a longer drying time, so you have some time to like work with it, so to speak. So you can get some nice like, blends and such in before it dries. And fix any mistakes. Well, I especially like this color in this paint scheme because there's a lot of with the undead skin being a bluish green, there's a lot of colder colors, and so this like really nice warm pink is a really nice contrast to the other colors in the army. right. I am past the halfway point in my stream, and the goal at the end of today's stream was to get these guys tabletop ready, so I'm gonna have to start focusing in, especially on these models where there's still a lot of white on the models. Thanks for lurking. I appreciate it. Okay, I think the biggest thing left for these guys is like the flayed flesh. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out my flesh tone. And for a secondary metallic color, I'm using with this Rune Lord Brass. I think it looks really good as a secondary metal color. I use it a lot. Especially since these are like undead. I don't know if they would have bright shining gold stuff. Implements, weapons. Just not thinking that's their vibe. Does the guy blow music or warnings? It's definitely music. You gotta have something for your soldiers to march to. You know, gotta keep them marching on the beat. Yeah, considering the delusion. I'm sure anyone who hears what the musician plays that's not under the delusion is like horrified and grossed out by it. But I'm sure all the ghouls are probably jamming. Wish Games Workshop would make little sound machines. That'd be cool, for sure. Even if they don't do that and they just come out with the music that each faction plays or like marches to, like that would be cool. Digital minis with screens and speakers. That does sound really cool. Can you share the link? I actually think I think I disabled links. Although mod, I think you can undo that. Should be a setting that you can undo. They're made by a company called Dopal. Cool. I'm also wondering if I can whitelist people to be able to send links. I know my mods can send links for sure. So. I have seen the colored 3D printing. I think that's super cool. I don't know exactly how it works or how good it is, but it does sound pretty awesome. The machine takes multiple colored resins, and yeah, that's really cool. I would like to say that it'll never be good as like a person actually painting the minis, but yeah, I can't say that, especially since we have like 12K resolution printers. I feel like some point the printers might become better painters than we are. Lol. Yeah, I agree. Just because it's out there doesn't mean you have to use it, and because a lot of people paint for enjoyment, I don't think it'll be too crazy. It's just like how AI art is a thing, but like that doesn't mean people are gonna stop being artists. It just makes competitions a little bit weird, because you have to you have to make sure that the people entering in the competitions aren't AI or like 3D printed paint jobs. Although I'm sure the commission painting industry would take a pretty big hit. But this is all theoretical, assuming that colored 3D printing can get to the point where it's good enough, or that it's better than most painters. Yeah, that does make sense. But I mean, with the advancements we've seen in 3D printing, right? Like 3D printing started out with just like FDM printers, and then now today we have the resin printers that print at such a high quality. It's not a far stretch to assume that colored 3D printing in the future will be able to do colored prints with highlights and such. Highlights, blending, like all that. I'm sure it would take a very long time to do, though, and probably be very expensive. That is true. That's to G Wiz's point, where it'll be a pretty niche market of people that don't like miniature painting are probably the ones that are going to use it. It's definitely expensive. I can imagine it's significantly more expensive than resin 3D printers are. Because the rest of the hobby is cheap. Well, yeah, for real. The Anycubic Photon M5S Pro. Yeah, that's the one that I have, and I can vouch for it. It is a very good printer. It is well worth the money. It was actually my kind of my first resin printer. Yeah, it's very good for the money. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, if I'm gonna buy a resin printer, I'm gonna get a good one. So. I do think I still need to dial in the settings a little bit. Currently, I'm still getting some failed prints. I mean, not where the whole print fails, just like specific pieces fail. And I would like to have that be less. I also have prints where like the scarring from the supports is really bad, but I don't know how to reduce the support, for lack of a better word, scarring on the miniatures. I'll have to look into that. You have the Photon Mono 4KS? Yeah, so the M5S Pro will be a huge step up. Yeah, with the 4K you get visible layer lines. Yeah. I have some prints where I can still see, some small layer lines, but on most of my prints they're not noticeable at all. Yeah. It's just such good resolution. Although I do print at like a 0.02 millimeter layer height as well. So that's also part of why I think my prints are good. What kind of resin do you prefer? So I'm pretty new to resin printing, so I've only used one kind of resin, and it's been working well for me. Like I don't have any complaints. I just don't know how it stacks up against other resins. I use the ABS-like water washable resin. Like I said, it's been working really well for me, and I especially like that it's water washable, because that makes it quite easy to wash, and it also makes it so that, like, if you need to clean up any, again, it's easier to clean up because it's water washable. ABS, you use ABS like Pro 2? Cool. Yeah, the ABS like seems to be a good way to go. Like it's less brittle than other resins, which is good because resin can be quite brittle. Oh man, here I am blabbing away. I didn't realize how much time was getting passed. It's okay, I think I got I think I'm already at my goal where my models are, for the most part, tabletop ready. So that's good. I don't think I missed my goal by blabbing or anything. You use the isopropyl alcohol for cleaning. Well, like, these guys aren't attached yet. So I am gonna have to kind of glue them on. And then I think they will be battle ready. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people have used that method for reusing isopropyl alcohol. I like that method a lot, but I also, you know, like that the resin is water washable. Like that helps me kind of justify that. You know, I can kind of wash the poison off, so to speak, fairly easily. All right. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm currently in the process of cleaning out my big tub of water that I use to wash, and the process for that is a bit, it's very similar, but it's a bit more intense, I guess, because essentially you just wait for all the water to evaporate and then cure the resin at the bottom and throw it away, and then fill it up with new water. But similar kind of idea, where you just kind of let the vat sit for a bit, and then, you know, after a while you can use it again, kind of thing. That's yeah, that's really cool. I didn't realize it was that reusable. Like I knew it was, you could reuse sorry. I knew that you could reuse it to some extent. I didn't realize you could reuse it for so long. A turkey baking dish. That's funny. Yeah, you just gotta bake the isopropyl alcohol for a little bit, and then it's all good. And with that, I do think these guys are tabletop ready, which is awesome. I do think I am gonna stream for a little bit longer today. I just want to get a little bit more done on these guys. Specifically, I want to put washes on the rest of my models for the bone and the metal. So I think the metallic paint looks really good with just like a Nuln Oil wash, and it looks really bad without it. Same kind of thing with the bone. I think the bone looks really good with a sepia wash, but without it, it's just so plain. So I'm gonna quickly just kind of do those couple of washes. It won't take a whole lot of extra time, but it'll add a lot to the models. And actually, maybe I'll do an Agrax Earthshade wash on the metal, just to get some quick, like, weathering / rust effect on it. Since I am trying to go quick, I get 2 birds with 1 stone, kind of thing. I normally do Nuln Oil and then do like rust and weathering separately, but we'll see how it looks when done all together. What kind of rituals does this army have? They tend to do a lot of rituals that, like, your classic medieval faction would have. So some big things that they do is they have priests. They have churches. What god are they worshiping? Who's to say? I know that there is a death god, but in their delusion, do they still worship the death god? I don't know. That's a good question. I think they like bless their, quote unquote, bless their weapons. I know they have feasts, in which they celebrate, like their victories and such. They go on hunts, much like a lord would go on hunts for fun, for sport. Yeah. The Death God did put them under the delusion, so it would make sense that they would still worship him under their delusion. But, I'm not sure that it's stated anywhere. So I'd have to read up a little bit on the lore before I, say with certainty that that's who they worship. Yeah, I can just imagine that, like, it would help the Death God keep them under their delusion if they weren't worshiping him. Like if he had them worship like a fake or false god to, like, make it so no one suspects anything. Yeah, one of the models that they recently came out for the Flesh Eater courts is a like I believe it's called the Abhorrent Cardinal, and it's their like it's their like priest model, and it's really funny. It has like the cardinal hat on the model, which is, I mean, it's just so funny. He's got like the priestly robes. They came out with a bunch of really nice, like, flavorful models for this faction. There's also a judge, and the judge is wearing, like, you know how they have those, like the British Parliament and whatever had those giant wigs that they would wear. He's wearing like a giant wig, except it's like intestines wrapped around his head. Pretty gnarly, but like also so funny. Because it just kind of goes to show how far the delusion goes, where the ghoul is like, I need a wig. Let me put this on, but he's actually just like wrapping some intestines around his head instead. What delusion? Oh, you right. My apologies. What delusion is the proper response? Of totally not Bretonia. Yeah. I do really like that theory. I don't know. Has it been confirmed yet? I don't think it's been confirmed that they are the old Bretonian Empire. But I'm here for it. It makes sense. All the ghouls have a French accent? Do they talk? Or do they just, like, grunt and like growl. Like, I know some of them have tongues, but I'm pretty sure some of these guys definitely don't have tongues. Like, would they be able to articulate? Is it just like, are they growling in French accents? I'm sure like the Archregent has like a, you know, has enough there to speak. Considering they like cast spell, like growl. Yeah, I'm sure the Archregent has enough to speak. Yeah, considering they cast spells, so he's the Archregent is just giving orders in French. And anyone that's in like the cities, a part of the Cities of Sigmar armies, anyone there that is left that speaks French is like super confused. Of course. It's not somebody's femur. It's just like a baguette, you know? And they're just like drinking champagne out of a goblet. It's not blood. What are you talking about? It's a glass of champagne. All right, cool. I do think I'm gonna end the stream here for today. I went a little bit long just so I could finish up some extra things. Yeah. I do have a little bit of an announcement. So next week I'm gonna be doing some extra streams because I'll be doing a challenge where I will be painting the entire Seraphon Spearhead box in 8 hours. So on Thursday and Friday of this upcoming week, I'll be streaming from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then Saturday, Sunday in the same time slot, noon to 2 Central Time. I'll be speed painting the Seraphon box. This is kind of to kind of celebrate and get ready for the new edition of Age of Sigmar that just came out with their new Spearhead game mode. That's pretty exciting. I love that you can kind of just have your own box, and that's your whole army. You don't need to collect anything else. So yeah, if you want to come hang out, watch me do that, you can drop a follow. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun today. I hope you all did too. And thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I'll see you next time, Thursday this week. Yeah. And I'll see you later. And actually, before I end here, I think I'm gonna raid someone else. I do have a good number of people watching, so let me go find somebody. Someone painting Star Wars Legion. Ooh, that's exciting. Oh, here we go. Someone's building Skaventide. Let's go. Keep on with the theme. But yeah, while I'm raiding, if you guys want to at least stick around and say hi in the new person's chat, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, that'll be all. So, bye, and I'll see you in the chat.